If you've been scrolling through endless kitchen equipment pages, comparing front-load versus side-load units, wondering whether the extra height will fit under your prep table, and still feel uneasy about committing a few $100s, you're not alone. I've spent the last couple of weeks watching catering trucks roll out of the kitchen, chatting with a few food service managers, and actually setting up a Cambro Camcart H series in a small bakery kitchen to see how it behaves in the wild. Link is in the description if you want to check the product details on Amazon. First off, the hesitation most people have isn't about the brand. Cambro has been a staple in commercial kitchens for decades, but about the trade-off between capacity and footprint. The Ultra Camcart H series is a single-compartment, front-load carrier that promises to hold a full-size sheet pan while using less energy than 3 100-watt bulbs. That sounds great on paper, but the real question is, does that energy claim translate into a noticeable cost saving for a typical operation, and does the front-load design actually make loading and unloading faster in a busy service line? I set the unit up on a 24-inch high prep station, the exact height you'll find in many small to medium cafeterias. The cabinet's outer shell is a sturdy polyethylene, finished in a muted granite gray that hides grease splatters better than a glossy white. The dimensions just over 26 inches long, 18 inches wide, and 24 inches tall mean it slides easily into a standard rolling rack, yet it still has enough interior volume to accommodate a full 12 by 18-inch pan without cramming. In practice, that extra room matters when you're trying to keep a batch of soups hot while you finish plating salads. You don't have to juggle two smaller carriers. One of the biggest practical strengths I saw was the front-load opening. In a high-pace environment, the ability to slide a pan straight in from the aisle, instead of maneuvering it around a side door, cuts seconds off each cycle. In my test run during a morning rush, the staff saved roughly 1,015 seconds per pan, which adds up to a few minutes over the course of an hour. That may sound trivial, but when you're juggling multiple stations, every second counts. The door also seals snugly, keeping heat in without needing a separate lid. Energy efficiency is another point that often gets lost in marketing copy. The claim of using less power than 3 100-watt bulbs is accurate because the unit relies on a low-wattage heating element that circulates warm air through the polyethylene walls. In a typical 8-hour service day, the cabinet draws around 150 watts on average, which translates to roughly $1 or $2 in electricity for a small operation. For larger establishments running multiple units, the savings become more noticeable, especially when you compare it to older stainless steel hot holding cabinets that can sip 500 watts or more per unit. Now, let's talk about the hidden trade-offs. The polyethylene construction is lightweight and resistant to dents, but it also means the cabinet can feel a bit plastic to the touch. Some users who are accustomed to heavy-gauge stainless steel report that the unit feels less solid when you tap on the side. That isn't a durability issue. The material holds up well to daily scrubbing and occasional bumps, but it can give the impression of lower quality, which might matter in a high-end restaurant that wants everything to look premium. Another nuance is the single compartment layout. If your menu requires you to keep both a hot entree and a side dish at different temperatures simultaneously, you'll need a second cabinet or a separate warming solution. The H series excels when you have a single menu item or a homogeneous batch to keep hot, such as a large pot of chile, a tray of baked pasta, or a batch of pre-cooked grains. For operations that need multi-temperature flexibility, this model might feel limiting. Who should buy this? Small to medium catering businesses, bakery kitchens, and school cafeterias that need a reliable, easy-to-load hot holding solution will find the Cambro Camcart H series a solid investment. If you're running a pop-up event and need a portable unit that won't drain your generator, the low power draw and lightweight design are huge pluses. It also makes sense for chefs who are looking to replace a bulky side-load cabinet with something that fits tighter behind a prep line. Who should skip it? Larger hotels or hospital food services that require multiple temperature zones in a single unit will likely need a more complex, multi-compartment system. Similarly, if you're after a premium aesthetic with stainless steel finishes for a visible service line, the gray polyethylene may clash with the design language you've established. Finally, if you need a built-in timer or programmable temperature curves features that are common on higher-end models, this cabinet keeps it simple, which could be a drawback for tech-savvy kitchens. In terms of day-to-day usability, cleaning the interior is straightforward. The smooth plastic walls wipe down with a damp cloth, and there are no crevices where food can hide. The front door latch releases with a single push, and the pan slides out on low-friction rollers. The only minor annoyance I noted was the rubber.